Stop right now because what you're about to hear will completely shift the way you play the game of life. For as long as you can remember, you've been told to be transparent, play fair, and always show your cards. But what if those rules you've been following weren't written for your benefit at all? What if they were carefully designed traps that keep you predictable, exposed, and easy to control? 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli looked at the world exactly as it was, not as people wished it would be, and decoded how power really works. He understood something society still wants you to ignore. In a world of open displays, public bragging, and constant noise, stealth is the ultimate advantage. By the end of this video, you will know the hidden tactics Machiavelli used to outthink his enemies, outmaneuver rivals, and win without anyone realizing what had happened until it was far too late. These are not abstract theories. They are concrete ways of moving through the world that you can start applying the moment you finish watching. Once you see them, you cannot unsee them. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glide from opportunity to opportunity while you're still fighting for scraps? You watch them get the jobs, the deals, the recognition, the influence, and you can't help but think, what do they have that I don't? They're not always smarter. They're not always more talented. They're not always working harder. They're just playing a different game, a quieter, sharper game that you've been conditioned not to see. While you're broadcasting your plans, they're moving in silence. While you're asking for permission, they're already in position. And while you're telling the world what you're about to do, they're quietly doing it. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's strategy. This difference in approach is why two people with the same resources can have completely different outcomes. One follows the visible, respectable path and keeps coming up empty-handed. The other moves under the radar, keeps their intentions close, and strikes when it counts. One gets remembered for their potential. The other gets rewarded for results. Machiavelli didn't glorify secrecy for secrecy's sake. He understood that power flows to the person who controls information. When others don't know your intentions, they cannot block your moves. When they underestimate you, they hand you leverage without realizing it. In his view, the more predictable you are, the easier you are to manipulate. The more mysterious you are, the harder you are to control. This isn't about being dishonest. It's about being strategic, choosing what to reveal and when to reveal it. It's about recognizing that full disclosure is not a virtue in a competitive world. Sometimes the most ethical thing you can do for yourself and the people you're responsible for is to protect your plan until it's ready. Machiavelli knew that when you manage information, you don't just protect your advantage, you create it. The first myth is transparency builds trust. It sounds noble. It feels righteous. It's what you've been told a good person does. But in practice, excessive transparency doesn't create trust. It gives people a blueprint to exploit you. When you expose your plans too soon, competitors can copy them, undercut them, or sabotage them. Friends can unintentionally leak them. Transparency without boundaries is not virtue. It's vulnerability. The second myth is, if you're good, people will notice. This belief keeps millions of capable people waiting for recognition that never comes. It makes you passive. It convinces you that all you have to do is perform well and the rewards will flow to you automatically. But while you're waiting, someone less capable but more strategic is presenting themselves, shaping perception and taking the prize. Merit matters, but only when it's combined with intelligent self-presentation. The third myth is, always show your full strength. This one is seductive because it flatters the ego. You think if you display all your capabilities, people will respect you. In reality, it allows your competitors to prepare counterattacks before you even act. Machiavelli understood that keeping some of your power hidden makes it far more effective when you do decide to use it. Strength revealed too soon is strength neutralized. Stealth tactic. Number 1. Conceal your intentions. Announcing your moves before you make them only arms your opposition. Every time you tell people what you're going to do, you give them time to react, block, or dilute your effort. Staying unpredictable forces others to guess and waste their own resources. Share just enough to seem open, but never enough for others to anticipate your next step. This is not about lying. It's about timing your disclosure so that it benefits you, not your rivals. People can't block what they can't see coming. Think about how often you've seen this play out. A person loudly broadcasts their big project months in advance, invites feedback from everyone, and by the time they're ready to launch, someone else has beaten them to market or quietly undermined them. Meanwhile, the person who kept quiet shows up seemingly out of nowhere with a finished product and takes the lead. Concealing your intentions is not paranoia. It's discipline. Stealth tactic number 2. Appear weak when you're strong. One of the oldest tricks in the book, and one of the most powerful, is to let your rivals believe you're harmless, unprepared, or distracted, when in reality you're fully equipped and quietly building strength. Machiavelli understood that overconfidence is a fatal flaw. When your opponents underestimate you, they lower their guard, they reveal their plans, and they make mistakes. Their overconfidence becomes your weapon. You've seen this dynamic in every field. The startup nobody takes seriously suddenly dominates the industry because the market leaders ignored them until it was too late. The quiet employee everyone overlooks is quietly building relationships and skills, then steps into a leadership role seemingly overnight. The political candidate who's mocked as weak or inexperienced uses that perception to stay out of the line of fire, build alliances, and then strikes decisively when it matters. By the time the establishment realizes what's happening, the power has already shifted. Appearing weak when you're strong is not about lying about your capabilities. It's about controlling perception. You don't have to correct every misconception about you. You don't have to rush to display every talent you have. Sometimes it's smarter to keep your capabilities under wraps until showing them gives you maximum leverage. Power revealed at the wrong moment is wasted. Power revealed at the right moment is unstoppable. Stealth tactic number 3. Control the narrative. Machiavelli knew perception is power. People don't just respond to what you do. They respond to what they think you're doing. They respond to the story about you that's circulating in their minds. If you don't actively shape that story, someone else will, and their version will rarely benefit you. Controlling the narrative isn't about spreading lies. It's about guiding interpretation. It's about framing your actions so that they're understood in the way that helps you. When you quietly feed the right stories, when you let rumors work for you rather than against you, when you drop hints instead of explanations, your influence grows without you lifting a finger. People fill in the blanks with assumptions that work to your advantage. Look at how successful leaders, entrepreneurs, even artists operate. They don't tell you everything. They give you pieces. They let curiosity and speculation amplify their presence. They don't react to every accusation or criticism. They stay focused on their own message. And because they refuse to get dragged into every fight or argument, their mystique and authority increase. In a noisy world, controlling the narrative is the difference between being a player and being played. Stealth tactic number 4. Strike decisively. Stealth isn't about endless waiting. It's about timing. It's about positioning yourself so that when your moment comes, you act. Fast, clean, and without warning. Surprise is worth more than brute force. All the preparation, all the silence, all the misdirection are meaningless if you hesitate when the window opens. Machiavelli's princes didn't just hide their intentions. They trained themselves to recognize the right moment to act and to act without flinching. Think of it like drawing a bow. The longer you quietly pull back, the more tension you create, but the arrow still has to be released. In life, that release is the decisive move. The pitch, the proposal, the launch, the confrontation you've prepared for. Because no one saw it coming, your action lands with 10 times the impact. People call it luck or genius. In reality, it's disciplined timing. This is the final piece of the stealth equation. You conceal, you misdirect, you control perception, but you also train yourself to strike. The power of stealth is not in hiding forever. It's in making sure that when you do reveal yourself, it's already too late for anyone to stop you. Once you understand Machiavelli's stealth tactics, you can never go back to playing the old game. You'll start noticing who's broadcasting their every move and who's moving silently toward victory. You'll see how much energy people waste trying to look busy, trying to be seen, trying to impress. And you'll understand why the quiet ones, the ones who seem almost invisible, so often end up on top. This isn't about manipulation. It's about power, clarity, and control. It's about refusing to sabotage yourself with myths that keep you predictable. From this moment forward, you have a choice. You can keep announcing your every intention, hoping for recognition, and wondering why you're being outmaneuvered. Or you can adopt the discipline of stealth, apply these tactics, and start winning on your own terms. Say it with me in the comments. I move in silence, and they'll never see me coming.